In this tutorial, I am going to share some little known tricks, maybe even some secrets you don't know about, to help you enjoy Facebook more as a user, but certainly to help you operate better as a serious marketer and to use this tool to grow your business. Managing the platform is as important as keeping your office tidy, as keeping organized, as looking after your website. It's important to come here at least twice a year, maybe even quarterly, to do a little health update. Facebook is constantly changing, constantly updating. You cannot set it up once and think you are done forever. I have got a perfect example right here on the screen. You can switch to the new Facebook at any time. So just in the last day, a new update has been filtered through to me. So it's important to stay up to date and to learn the new tips and tricks, and I'm happy to do that here today. My name is Suze Bauer, marketing enabler, content creator, owner of RedMatchstick.com, and my mission is to support, inspire, uplift, help small business owners, medium business owners, DIY marketers do a better job of doing their own marketing. If you are not one of those kind of people and need some work done for you, of course I'm only too happy to accept that responsibility, and hope in this video you will see that I do know my business, and it will give you some confidence to engage with me further to help you ignite your marketing. So let's fire away with some tips and tricks. First of all, I'm sitting on my personal profile. Personal profile versus business page. You need a personal profile to have a business page, and the rules were or are that you shouldn't be using your personal profile for business. But the strategy I'd like to share with you, as it's becoming harder and harder to get good reach, organic reach, to get your content in front of people because there is so much noise, because the algorithm demands that people stay in contact, stay engaged with your content in order to keep seeing it. It's becoming harder and harder and harder to make sure that your content is in front of people, in front of the right people, without having to pay to play. Now, your personal profile can certainly help you with a little bit of strategic intent and to be a little circumspect in what you do and what you don't do. And you need to make the decision up front, decide and stick with it. Are you going to use your personal profile on Facebook to help your business, to get awareness and build your reputation? If so, a lot of the tricks I'm going to show you today are going to help you. If not, make sure you protect your page by keeping everything personal, everything friends only, and make sure you know who the friends are that you invite to your page. If at any point you should suspect that you're being hacked or that you're getting messages and people are saying, I think you've been hacked, my advice to you is immediately to go. The blue bar is your menu on your personal profile. It's immediately to go to this little arrow here and log out, change your password, and for that you will require an email address. Always make sure that you have your login details saved somewhere safe where nobody can get to them, but where you can, because too often I see people who forget what their login details are. Keep them in a safe place somewhere. If you don't know where to keep them, try LastPass, which is a great vault to keep all your passwords, and you only need to remember a single password for LastPass, and you can go in there to find all your other passwords. So log out. If ever you think you're being hacked, go to log out, change your password and come back in. That should immediately throw any naughty attempts to access your stuff right out. What I'm going to do is I'm going to switch to the new Facebook, because that is obviously going to be very helpful to you, and might even be the first time you see your new Facebook. So let's go there. Switch to new Facebook, down that menu. Welcome to my new Facebook, as at the 24th of April 2020, whilst I'm sitting in lockdown and helping people leverage this unbelievable business tool to grow their business. So right up front, you can now find privacy, checkup, and your activity log in settings and privacy on this button. So let's go straight there. Right, here are the tools that you definitely want to check, you definitely want to update to keep everything safe. First of all, review the important ones. See who can see what you share, how to keep your account secure, how people can find you on Facebook, and your data settings. It is obviously very important to work through each of these. I'm not going to sit and do it. Manage all these settings. What I would like to show you, we are looking at our settings, and up at the top I'd like you to click on General, and in the General settings is where you will make sure you've got your email address right, and you can always add an account contact. So here you would set your primary email address, and that is also your recovery email address, and you can always add another email address or phone number, which might be a good idea if you don't own the primary address and you need a secondary address to recover your page. It is quite a good idea to get a second address, so I'm going to add one. In the event that you, without even realizing a lot of the time, remember this is rented space, you don't own what happens here. If something should go wrong and your page needs to be recovered, it's always a good idea. What I want to show you in this general part of the settings is a little thing which I think is very, very valuable. Memorialization settings. This is where you set up your legacy contact in the event that you pop your clogs and you leave this mortal planet, and somebody can go in here to remove your content. So how many of those Facebook pages do you see of friends who've passed on, and it makes you quite sad? So here you set up a contact who can go in and delete your page, and you are well advised to go into your will document or whatever, where you would be saving all your passwords and things for people to find in your absence, but also whoever is the legacy contact of your social media and other profiles, so that somebody can go and attend to these when you are not able to do it yourself. So here is also under security and login, where you can update passwords. I would recommend two-factor authentication, where you get sent a PIN number to authorize any changes being made to your page, and if somebody else is trying to log in or whatever, you get a warning. So that just helps you with extra security of your Facebook page. I also want to point out apps and websites and business integrations. These are when you log in sometimes from your Facebook page to an app or to a business integration or whatever. You will see these are listed here. I recommend you do go in from time to time and remove the ones that are not relevant. So you could click on it, you can view and edit, and you can remove them. I would highly recommend you keep this tidy, because these apps are able to access your information. Exactly the same happens with apps. We often have game apps and all sorts of silly things attached to your account. Do go and do a bit of housekeeping and tidy that up. Privacy. Let's talk about privacy. We have spoken about using your Facebook profile to extend awareness, to build authority, to extend the reach of your content, and make your stuff become more widely available. You have to enable this setting to make sure that search engines outside of Facebook, obviously Facebook searches your profile because that's the information and the data points it gathers to serve ads to your page that it thinks will be relevant to you and will be of value to the advertiser. But here you have got a setting that says, do you want search engines outside of Facebook to link to your profile? We are under settings in privacy. And there you would want to agree yes or no. If you are going to be very careful with your Facebook, you're not going to post inappropriate content, and you have friends that are good for getting the word out for your business and will share your content, you do want to enable this. Here going forward, I would suggest that you are very strategic about friend requests to your personal profile, because remember, your personal profile enables you to talk to people on chat and Facebook Messenger, which is not so easy from a business page. So it makes communication that much easier. And once you have a friend, you can engage with them by sending them direct messages about promotions, sending them a request to please share your content, asking them to join groups or events. It is so much easier if you are connected on Facebook Messenger or chat that you can leverage these opportunities. So be strategic in your friend requests and get search engines to find you outside of Facebook. So the strategy with the content that we recommend you share on your personal profile is stuff that's helpful, no spamming. Great blog stories that you've written, tutorials you've delivered, Q&As that you're doing. Every now and then a link to your website, something you're proud of, something that your business is doing that you think your friends and family would like. If they would, then it's likely other people on your page will also. So be careful what you share, but make sure the content you share originates from your business page. Remember, in our earlier trainings, we spoke about the algorithm taking the valuable content, the value of content, the quality, the consistency, the recency, and mostly the engagement, as all of them are signals in the formula that the content is worthwhile. So people sharing and engaging with the content that originates on your business page is going to increase your reach and going to increase your awareness. And Facebook will collect that data, because you can then later down the road use your audience insights in your ad manager to create lookalike audiences of people that have engaged with your content. I hope that was a wow. Post a comment if you need to know more about that. So I'm switching back to classic Facebook in order to do this tutorial on the business page, and we will go to my business page. So this is to get your personal profile, home, friends, messenger, and notifications, updates on your page. And from there, that little down arrow there is where you have a shortcut to do a whole lot of other stuff, including find all your pages, manage your groups, your ads, activity logs. And here I just quickly want to show you this very important point that you would want to coach your prospects, your Facebook audience about, because we have said reach and engagement is difficult. Reach declines because engagement declines, and engagement declines because people aren't seeing your content. A vicious circle ensues, and you have to manage your content across this. One way to do it is to educate your clients to go to news feed preferences. So they click on their news feed preferences. You might want to create a little tutorial or clip this little part of the tutorial. And in that newsfeed preferences, you have a number of options, but the important one here is prioritize who to see first. You get what you have liked in your personal capacity, in your profile, and you can go there and click on whichever pages you want to prioritize in your newsfeed, who you want to see up front and at the top of your newsfeed. You can also take pages off. You can include, so for example, the ones that are starred are pages you do want to see at the top of your newsfeed, and at any time you can add or decrease and then click done. And those are the ones who fill your newsfeed. So people who are complaining that they are seeing lots of rubbish on Facebook and hate Facebook because of the content that is in their newsfeed, firstly, it's there because they're engaging with it. But most importantly, they have not managed from their own page, their newsfeed preferences, to set which pages and profiles they want to see from first in their newsfeed. I love my newsfeed. It's packed with value. It's packed with the stuff I want to see. So it makes my experience really worthwhile. Let's look around your Facebook page. Just to clarify, some places you might not be going to, things you might not be seeing. So from the blue personal profile menu, you have the white page menu of all the different things you can find on your page. And folks, I recommend that you do your Facebook page admin from a PC. You can see here the layout is just so much simpler than trying to do it on a mobile device, whichever, no matter how big the screen. The mobile app is designed for users. You would have to use the page manager app to manage pages, and that is not so easy. This just makes life really simple. Go and do it on your PC. You can see everything nicely. You can fix mistakes easily. We are going to work through this shortly, but I just want to scroll down the page, through the page, and give you little highlights and tips as we go along. At this point, I want to mention there is a link to a checklist with all these major points I'm mentioning, so you can go and tick which you've done and mark off which need attention, and you can then decide where to go and what to fix using that list and ticking off as you go. So the first point I want to make is your profile image, profile picture on Facebook is like your branding tool. It is a logo or an image. If you are a business, it would be a logo. If you are a person marketing to people, connecting with people, selling people expertise to people, I would highly recommend you use an authentic image of yourself. Obviously, it should be a quality image taken by a professional, but not too posed and removed, not with your arms crossed so you are closed off, looking directly at the camera, smiling, not wearing clothing that's too distracting. All the qualities of a good profile image. Because this is social media and people connect with people, it is important that people see you, and remember this little image carries through your posts, carries through to notifications when you appear in other people's timelines. You want it to be recognizable. I mean, some of them you can't even see that. What is the point of that? You can't even see who that is, what it is. You need to be able, these are great. These are people's faces you can recognize, they're up close. When somebody's too far away with a bad light or in the dark or not authentic, you tend to wonder and you might not engage. So think about what you like, what appeals to you, and that is generally a good barometer of what works and what doesn't work. This should fit into the circle. You don't want it to be cut off too badly, so watch your borders. This part is called your cover photo, and think about it as a billboard. It is the thing that your drive-by, thumb-scrolling audience, people who pop into your page to have a look when they've seen you appear in a news feed and they'll click through to your page and see if they like what they see. This will be the first thing they see. You need to make it work for you. You need it to be as simple and as effective as driving past a billboard to get people to stop and want to know more. So, not too much copy. Facebook's recommendations for any of its images with text over is not more than 20% text over an image. The reason for that is because it loses its value. You can't see the image. You can choose a photo, a video, a combination. You can create a slideshow. In my content calendar that I issue every month, I recommend at least once a month you update and change this cover photo. Now, the strategic thinking behind that is that it should tie in with whatever promotion you are running. If you're running an event, use it for the event. If you have an offer, use it for an offer. If it's about a customer's success story featuring a case study, use it to do that. It is a very, very worthwhile piece of your Facebook real estate. And when you click on that picture, as soon as you've uploaded it, if you have not done this, here you will get a prompt that says add description. The advice here is that you add a description and a link for people to click through to. Everything you do must have an objective for the next step. What do you want them to do next? Even a simple post, you're doing it with the objective of people liking, the minimum level of engagement. It has to be worthwhile. So this area, it's really worthwhile to give people a link to click through to so that you take them to the next step. Whatever copy you add in there, when this cover photo gets carried through to the timeline, that copy you've added becomes the text in the post. So it's also a very good idea to update that for that purpose, that people who are just seeing that you've changed your cover photo and are perhaps going to buy into your campaign, right there up front is all the detail they need to know. In addition to making this billboard work for you with a link as a post, you want to ensure that your call to action, which is this section below your cover photo, is part of your marketing strategy. You do not want people to sign up if there's nothing to sign up for. You want to give them value. So do you want them to sign up for a newsletter? Then tell them so. Do you want them to sign up for a course? If the cover photo tells them you're offering a course and then it's a sign up, the brain of your user puts the two together and it makes sense. Make sure these all are part of an ongoing strategy to create conversion. You want people to find you, to like you, to get to know you, to get to trust you, and ultimately to buy from you. I want to just point out something here. Along here you've got these three little buttons, which is the more menu. And the important things I want you to show you here is that you can view your page as a visitor. That gives you a very interesting perspective on how you've set up your page. So I've clicked on view your page as a visitor, and here you will see it looks quite different. Here, look, ask Suze questions. Here is what comes up on my messenger the minute people click through to my page. My reviews are right up at the top. My story, all my about information, my page transparency. I'm going to go through all those, and this, the layout here, follows my tabs down the side. So whatever you want people to see first, you will put up. You see, there's services, the next one. The next one will be, you will have the recommendations and reviews, and then posts. You see how this affects what people see in the timeline. So it's very important that you set it up to be user-friendly. I'm going to show you how to do that. So let's switch back to our admin view. So the other part I want to show you just about these 3 buttons before we move away is like as your page. That is a great option if you are liking pages for business reasons, or you're snooping on competitors or whatever. You have the option to choose whether you're liking in your personal capacity, in your personal profile, or your business page, or if you are managing pages on behalf of a client, you don't want to be liking their suppliers, their stakeholders as your personal page, your personal profile, or your business page. So it's very handy then to click on like as your page, and obviously you've got the option here to unlike if necessary, create milestones. There's a couple of super little options there. Do go and look at those buttons and just familiarize yourself with them and where to find them. Again, just what is down there. Here is your page name and your username. Now, what is a username? Username is what people type in, and we call @mention, where you type in the @ and somebody's page name to tag them in a page, or to let them know you are sharing to their page, or to make them aware of content if you tag a page in a comment. So your username must be something that is easy to type, easy to remember, and make sense. If you make this hard, it is very difficult for people to tag your page when they want to give you some credit, want to tell somebody else about your business, anything like that. It's got to be easy to type in. You're missing business opportunities if this simple little thing isn't easy. And I have had a few questions about how you can update these. So if that is not right and you could tweak it to make it simpler, I'm going to show you in a minute how to fix that. But let's just quickly go down your page and continue to look down the right side as you are looking at your computer screen. You have your story. This we will set up in your about section. So these two are where they work together. But the member marketing is about telling stories. So telling your story is what sets you apart. There is no other person, even your doppelganger, is not identical to you. Their experience is not the same. Their gift is not the same. Their authenticity is not the same. This is where you clarify why you are doing what you're doing. You share your passion. You share your experiences. You share the challenges that made you do what you do, why you are the right person to help them with the solution they seek. It is like a blog. When you go there to set it up, it looks very much like a blog. You add a cover photo, you add a headline, and again, this is something you can continuously be updating as you go along. So make sure your story is current and nice and that this picture works. You can go, you don't have to update the whole story. You can just click there and go and update. You will see it takes me right through to the editing part of the story. There's my whole story. I can edit my cover photo. I can edit copy. And at the end of it, you publish. And there you are. It's updated. It's a super, super place to give your page some unique authenticity. Further down is your response rate and then your followers. People, I want to talk to you about followers and follows and likes and how to pay it forward. I personally am very confused about why there's such a thing as a follow versus a fan, because when somebody likes your page, i.e. becomes a fan, they automatically are following. But people can follow without necessarily liking your page. Now, unless you are snooping, I can't see any reason for doing that. So if you are following instead of liking, stop that. go and pay it forward, because if you like people's page, they'll like you back. Here again, if you are following a page, as I told you, for people to manage their newsfeed preferences, you can also be setting what you see first and what you would prefer in your newsfeed. Look there, there's a see first option when you like a new page. So say you are a visitor coming here, you can follow and say see first. So encourage your followers to do that, but first of all tell them you'd prefer a like than a follow, because the figures are different. Look there. So we have got followers and we have got likes. 8235 likes and 8308 followers. So there is a difference. The more likes you have, the more credible it is, and your benchmarks are based on likes as opposed to followers. Then you've got your community. We talk about inviting friends. It's a great temptation to invite friends. So you can see that I have got 231 friends out of 8,000 odd people. Not all your friends are prospective customers. They may refer you, but are not always your best customers. So again, exercise strategic intent with who you invite to like your page. When we go back to thinking and our earlier discussions about the algorithm, about levels of engagement, if you have an audience on your page that is not engaged, it is a bad reflection on your page. And if Facebook is using your audience as criteria for showing people content, and it is an audience that is not engaged, it follows that your ads will be shown to the wrong people. And the more your ads are showing to the wrong people, the more expensive it becomes to get the odd engagement in between those huge numbers. So be very careful how you build your page. I would really put lots of effort into making sure you know who your ideal customer is, creating an avatar, knowing what the criteria is to find them on Facebook, and building your audience with those ideal customers. Then on your page you have your about information to make it very easy for people to find you, a telephone number, they can send messages, your website link is obviously important, and we discussed in a previous training whether you should have a website or rely on Facebook. I don't know why Facebook would have a section to promote your website if they were for 1 second saying that Facebook is enough. You need to promote your website. It is your own shopfront online where you are in charge of what happens. It gives you credibility. It gives you a place to send people to find out more, to buy, to subscribe, to do all those good things. In your about section, this is where all this is set up. You need to set up your page types and your page category. This is really important because this is what helps Facebook show your content to the right audience. If you choose these wrong, your page will be shown to the wrong people and it will not perform. The rest of these we'll talk about under your about section, and you'll see the subheadings on the checklist that you can download to help you make sure you set each one up correctly. The more information you give Facebook and the search engines to crawl, to find out, to establish that you are credible, the better your page is going to perform. Be thorough in setting up your about section and all the settings I'm showing you. Tip for you when you are looking at somebody else's page. So your prospective audience, customers, would look at this to find out about your page. If you go and do yourself a favor after this and go and check page transparency on a competitor page or a wannabe page, you will see when the page was created, you will see the size of the audience, who the audience is. Most of all, you'll see where the page is administered from, and that will tell you whether it is credible, authentic, and non-scammy, spammy, or whatever. I see far too many pages promoting, and when you go and research, they're actually not credible, and yet people still engage with them. One click will save you lots of heartache. Use page transparency. The other thing it is really handy for is to see what your competitors are advertising. You can go and click here on a competitor's page and you will see what ads they are currently running. Obviously, that's a great tip for you to see what competitive advantage there is. You don't want to compete head on head. Where are the opportunities for you to be different? Then there's the section of pages liked by this page. Here it just randomly chooses pages from your list of pages you like and shows them. You want to also every now and then check that these are building your reputation. If you have inadvertently liked some ARB page, you definitely don't want it to appear here. So when you click on this little button, it'll take you to all the pages you've liked. You can unlike pages that are no longer relevant. You can refresh your page and make sure that this is constructive and conducive to building your brand. Okay, so now we're just going to look, before we stop this first part of this training, we're going to look at your left-hand tabs as you are looking at the screen. Consider these your navigation menu for your page. On a mobile device, they appear under the cover photo, but here you want them organized. They will still be, as I showed you earlier, showing you the order in which content is served. So these are what you want people to see. So home, live, photos, services, about, reviews, posts, videos, groups, etc. And I'm going to show you how you organize them in settings, which will be in the next part of our training. But you do want to make this easy for people to find your content. Before we go, let's look at the About section. Here is where you give everybody the information they need to find out if they want to hang around, if they want to do business with you, if they want to engage with you. It's like the second step. They might like you and then come back here when they get to know you and go, oh, I think I want to know more. I want to do business with them. I want to engage with them. You have your business info. Complete everything thoroughly. Your contact details, known as NAP, name, address, phone number. They have to be consistent across all platforms. If Google is crawling your content and finding different phone numbers, different addresses, different names, different stuff everywhere, it gets confused and it'll downgrade your info. Be consistent in absolutely all of this stuff, your telephone number, your address, your name. And put all your profiles in there, any other information. There is the opportunity to add a short description as well as the long description. We will also talk about this in this section, but easy to change here. The most important part, where most people don't know where to change the page name or the username, is right up here at the top of your About info. You can change your page name there, and you can change your username here. Now, many people will tell you you can't change your page name. I would like to tell you, you saw that I've got 8,000 odd followers. I changed my page name earlier in preparation for this training. My page was called Suze by RedMatchstick. I added marketing coach. It was updated as a page name instantly, immediately. So if your page name, your username are not right, fix them. So folks, that is the page and how it looks. I think I've covered everything. Next, we're going to work through this line, through your page menu, which takes you to the back end admin, the tools that make your page perform even better for you. And of course, we will again give you a link to the content calendar to help you post great content that makes your page engaging. When your page is engaging and it's set up properly, you will build relationships with the right audience, you will attract the right audience, and be able to fuel your sales system, which is then built on getting their details, getting them to sign up, and taking them down a funnel, building relationships, until you can make offers that they will click on and potentially engage with, either download for free or invest in down the line when they trust you. More soon.